This is Chapter 7, Lewis Structures, Homework, Problem number 2. Determine the central atom in the Lewis structure of silicon tetrafluoride, SiF4. There are two ways to solve this problem. The first one is a simple one. Most time it should be correct if you use this way, but not 100% of the time. But in this case, you see what you do is you write down the skeleton structure. And it's, oh, sorry, you could not see. So it's obviously, you see silicon is the one in the center. So that's the first solution. So therefore, silicon has to be the central atom. Okay. The other solution is the one we should use in most cases, so that we want to make sure the atom we selected, it is indeed the central atom. So there are a few steps we need to work on that. Okay. So first, of course, we write down the formula of the chemical. In some cases, they don't give you the formula. They just say silicon tetrafluoride. You have to be able to write the formula first. Okay. And then, so you want to identify the first element in the chemical formula. In this case, is silicon. Typically, the first element listed in the chemical formula is the central atom. Typically, so not always. Okay. So next, you want to check to be sure that the first element has a subscript of 1. Silicon here, indeed, it has a subscript of 1. So otherwise, there may be more than one central atom, or the first element may not be the central atom. But in this case, silicon has a subscript of 1. Okay, so that also meets the second requirement. The next step is to check if the first element is less electronegative than the other elements. If the first one is not less electronegative than the other elements, that may not be the central atom. Now let's take a look at the electronegativity of the two elements involved in this question, silicon and fluorine. Okay, find them in the periodic table. Okay, so silicon is right here, fluorine is here. So silicon in the left-hand side and fluorine is in the right-hand side. And what's the trend for electronegativity? Increasing electronegativity from left to right. So therefore, silicon has less electronegativity, or silicon is less electronegative than fluorine. So now, use all the information we just discussed, we can determine the central atom is silicon in this problem. So, because it has a subscript of 1, it is less electronegative, and obviously is the first one listed. Okay, so therefore, silicon has to be the central atom. This is question number 2.